The streets are closed off, the spectators are claiming their spots, and just a few blocks from here, students, teachers, and other entrants are getting ready for their turn to walk down Main Street. Hello and welcome to the 20th Annual Paddy Hough Parade. I'm Elena.
And I'm Orion Ludlow. We're joining you from beautiful Uptown Village in Vancouver, right on Main Street. For in just a few minutes, the parade will get started. Let's take a look at the path the parade will be taking. The procession starts at Hough Elementary, then winds through the neighborhood until it gets to Main Street. That's where most of the spectators will be. It's actually right where we are on Main and 21st is where the judges are sitting. After that, the parade winds down Main Street, turning right on McLaughlin, and ends up back at the school building.
The theme of this year's parade is Exploring New Horizons, and the Grand Marshal, Mayor Tim Levitt. There are more than 40 entries. Right off the bat, the Escola de Samba is really going to blow you away. It's made up of students from Hough playing rhythmic Brazilian music. It's just one of several bands we'll hear.
We're going to see a lot of beautiful cars today, and first up will be Mustangs Unlimited. We'll also be getting a look at some of the lessons being taught in the classroom at Hough. We also have a couple of mascots today, so keep your eyes open for the Hamburglar and that cheesy guy, Chester Cheetah.
And as we mentioned, right down in front of us are today's judges. They'll be evaluating the students marching in the parade. The panel is made up of valuable members of the Hough community. And after the parade, back at Hough Elementary School, the kids will be gathering in the gym for an awards ceremony. Here are some of the major categories. There's Best School Spirit, Best Showmanship, Best Decorated, and Best Educational Theme. Some of the others: the Lucky Charm Award for Creativity, the Tip of the Hat Award for Best Props or Costumes, and the Irish Spring Award for Enthusiasm.
A parade, a school, even an entire neighborhood is named after one man, Paddy Hough. Let's learn a little bit more about the man who helped shape the history of Vancouver.
Born in Ireland, Patrick Paddy Hough came into the world on St. Patrick's Day, March 17, 1846. As a young man, he traveled from Ireland to France to serve as a first aid worker in the Franco-Prussian War. A German shell cost Paddy most of his left arm. While in the hospital, he decided to venture to America, gathering money from relatives to make the trip.
When he came to America, he had little or no education because there was no formal schooling in Ireland at the time of his living in Ireland, and he self-educated. So I think that's a great credit due to him.
After a stint in Canada, Paddy landed in Vancouver, Washington as head of Holy Angels College. He also realized his dream of becoming an American citizen. In 1891, Paddy left Holy Angels to become principal at the Columbian Public School. He served at Columbian and the Central School in Vancouver until his retirement in 1908. But a man like Paddy couldn't stay still long, becoming deputy superintendent of Clark County Schools. Later, during World War I, as educators shipped off to war, Paddy was drafted too, to serve as principal at a grade school. In 1925, just a few months short of his 80th birthday, Paddy Hough passed away after a lifetime of service to families in Vancouver. Meanwhile, his own family back in Ireland had no idea what he had achieved.
It was only on the advent of the internet and getting in touch with the school here that we discovered a lot more about him.
In 2008, his descendants traveled to America just like Paddy did more than a century before to see his legacy. A school, Hough Elementary, built in the 40s, a neighborhood that sprung up around the school, and for the past 20 years, a parade that celebrates everything he accomplished.
From the humble background he came from, it just shows you what people can do with dedication and commitment and effort.
This parade is really a celebration of the Hough community, the center of which is Hough Elementary School, just a couple of blocks from here.
It's also a staging area, and that's where we find Nick Vole. Nick.
Thank you, guys. I am here with Barbara Hammond, who's the organizer of this parade. Barbara, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for being here, Nick. I'm excited.
I was told it never rains at the Hough Parade, and yet here we are.
Yeah. Well, it's just right now. It'll pretty soon there'll be a blue spot up there. The sun will come through, and we'll go. It never rains on the parade.
So obviously this is a big deal. Tell me, what does it take to put this together every year?
Well, it's community at its best. For me, it's a lot of paperwork and invitations and contacting different folks. But the City of Vancouver, the school district, the Hough Foundation, we've sponsored the parade for quite a few years now. I've been doing it for 8 years, and it's just a matter of everybody pulling together for the first event of the summer, and everybody in the city and the community looks at this as the first event of the summer. And we have our summer weather here.
It's Washington summer, yeah. So how many weeks or months does it take you to actually pull all these 40 plus entrants together?
Well, I usually start right around January with permitting and insurance and all that. But so I'd say a couple months just to pull it together, and then just lots of phone calls and confirmations and things like that, and last minute changes all the way to the end. And but pretty much runs on its own at this point.
How do you feel today's going to go? What are you nervous?
Well, waiting for the rain to let up, but I think it's going to be great. It's 20 years. This is a big celebration for us. We've never been rained out, and I think the community is going to show up in force to celebrate this 20-year anniversary of the parade.
I appreciate you talking to us, and I'm really excited to see the parade.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks for being here.
Hey, guys, we're going to go back to you.
Thanks, Nick.
We're sitting right now on the patio of Mint Tea, a locally owned gift shop and restaurant along the parade route. Mint Tea is a big supporter of Hough, and they were gracious enough to let us use their space today. It's on the corner of 21st and Main and carries a variety of personal care products, home decor, jewelry, and other gifts, plus a full menu of breakfast and lunch items and dinner on the weekends. Thanks again to Mint Tea.
Yeah, thank you. Looks like the parade is about ready to start. Here you have Boy Scout Troop 731 behind the Vancouver Police. That's Timo Pellico and Solomon Ankiyanko, both former Hough Elementary students.
Okay, and here comes the bagpipers, the Vancouver Fire Department. Pipes and drums teamed up with the McOlson Pipe Band this year. And McOlson Pipe Band comes from Olson Engineering in downtown Vancouver.
Looking good, guys.
And this is the Grand Marshal of the parade, Mayor Tim Levitt.
Oh, there he is.
In the SWAT vehicle. Mayor Tim Levitt's in his first term as mayor in Vancouver. He was elected in 2009.
Former city council member.
Okay. And coming up, Hough Foundation and the Paddy Hough float with Don LaPierre.
This is Paddy Hough in all his glory. Notice he just has one arm. Paddy Hough only had one arm, and he accomplished so much.
That's one of the better floats in the area, and that's Don LaPierre again. And he's also built floats for the Starlight Parade, so that's kind of cool.
This is Mrs. Shaw's kindergarten class. Their theme is Learning Helps You Grow. Look at those cute little crowns they're wearing.
Over the last few weeks, they've been learning how to grow things in science.
Watermelons, pumpkins, carrots, corn, and flowers. I didn't even know there were such things as carrot seeds.
Yep, they've been planting all those all year long, and
let it grow, let it grow, let it grow.
Mrs. Shaw tells us that the planning process was messy but fun.
Let's check in now with Nick Vole, who's standing alongside the parade route.
Nick, what have you got going on out there?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here in the judging area with Kate Sacamano. She's one of the judges, and she's evaluating the kids today. Kate, thanks for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So what are you looking for when you're judging? It's got to be kind of hard.
It is incredibly hard because they are all so adorable. But I would say we're looking for enthusiasm, for teamwork, creativity. Some of the props are pretty impressive, and all of the students are always certain to stand in front of the judges' table and pull out all the stops for us.
So what is your favorite category that you're judging for then?
That's a great question. School spirit is always wonderful when they can tie it into the theme of the year, and this year is discovering new horizons. So school spirit, showmanship. So when they have instruments and they're singing songs and doing little dances, I think that's pretty impressive.
And how are things going for you guys so far today?
So far, it's been wonderful. We have a terrific turnout. The sun is actually coming out, so we're thrilled about that. And we had 40 entries this year, so it's one of our larger parades, and it's our 20th anniversary, so couldn't be better.
Well, perfect. I appreciate you talking to me. I'll let you get back to judging.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nick. Good stuff out there. All right, now this is the Uptown Village Association.
Yeah, there's Mrs. Dixon, Miss Peachy, and Mr. Johnson's We Are the World. There are 3rd and 4th grade classes there.
All right, look at all those countries they're representing. I see Germany, Serbia, Mexico, Norway, Hungary.
Yeah, they're actually learning about the class. They're learning about different countries around the world and making their flags and learning about the culture and the food and all that kind of stuff.
Customary clothing, although I see their clothing today is waterproof bags.
It's very Pacific Northwest.
It is. This is.
You can hear those drums a-beatin'. That is the Escola de Samba, formerly called the Bateristas.
Just a taste of Rio on the streets of uptown Vancouver.
Just weeks after Brazil's Carnival, here we get a taste of our own. Yes, it's YES. It's the Brazilian-style percussion drum and movement group for students in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Let's listen.
You know, the students perform throughout the year. If you want to see a schedule of the Escola de Samba, go to the Hough Foundation website. That is www.houghfoundation.org. Now behind them we got Paul Christensen in the blue 1928 Chevrolet touring car. That thing is cherry.
Christensen is the founder of the Hough Foundation. He's also a local businessman, and Robin Bradford is his executive assistant and board officer of the Hough Foundation since its inception.
Thanks to Ray Holland for donating his car there.
Okay, and here's the start of the show.
Well, you know what this is? This is the 40 at 8 locomotive vehicle. This comes from the VFW group that's devoted to the soldiers who fought at Normandy Beach. Really the decisive battle of World War II in Europe. Heroes, all of them.
Fantastic.
It's a huge tractor trailer, and it's just been
Transformed, I see.
Yeah, isn't that
like
something? Look at it, it just shines.
And there's
Now that's Mary Greaves
Mary Greaves.
and Bert Hansen. It's Vancouver City Council and the Vancouver Public Schools. You know, Mary's with the Vancouver Public Schools. She's been a board member and with the district actually for going on 16 years now. PTA president. Now, who do we have here? Is this Mrs. Milligan's Somewhere Over the Rain? Yes.
Yes, it
okay,
is.
this is Mrs. Milligan's 5th grade class doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Now, oh, I see Dorothy. I see a scarecrow. I see a Tin Man.
That's right.
I see a cowardly lion.
Oh, and right now they're actually saying a poem. Every morning the students in Miss Milligan's class say a poem that ends with the phrase, I believe in myself and believe what I say, and I personally intend to make the best of each day.
Great message. Now, you know, there's Waste Connections. See all those plastic bags?
Yes, I do, actually.
Yeah, there's a person in there somewhere. You know, Waste Connections is the waste management company that's based here in Vancouver.
It also serves Battleground, Ridgefield, and other local communities.
Great history of community involvement with them. Okay, coming up now. Now, I wonder exactly what we're seeing here. I see green ponchos. I see an inflatable St. Patrick. Does he have a shillelagh or a tam o' shanter? What do those words mean? A shillelagh's a stick of some sort, I believe. Oh, there's nothing like a parade.
And here we have the Vancouver Red Cross motorhome and Hummer, I guess. No, that just looks like the American Red Cross. Oh, there's the Hummer.
Yeah, there's the
There we
Hummer.
go. Okay.
Where the Red Cross is doing a lot of work right now in Japan. Fantastic organization. This year is ready for disaster relief in our community.
And they serve 6 counties. And following behind them is the Parks and Recreation.
Now, what we're going to be seeing here, now, all right, you're seeing it right now. That's Mrs. Howard and Mrs. Madden. Their theme is It's a Small World, Neighbors and Community. Now, these are 2nd graders. They have just recently been studying how Vancouver relates to the rest of the world. They're learning the roles and responsibilities of community members. Let's listen. They're going to stop here in front of the judges' table.
Now each student has a business he or she has designed and decided what kind of community leader he or she would like to be as an adult. And their banner, you see it coming up there, their banner represents the world and their relationship between neighbors and the community.
And they've been partnering with Umpqua Bank, which is actually a sponsor of this parade too. They're going to be giving all these kids ice cream here at the end when they get back to the school.
Just in time for the sunshine.
I hear bagpipes.
And then there we go, Denny's Day. That's 75 years of the Irish flag raising, and that's with their bagpipes too. Denny's Day. From 1936 to 2011, they've been raising the Irish flag.
Yep, going strong. That's 75 years.
We've got
Oh.
Middle School Band. Wildcats.
The pride of Discovery Middle School. This is the disco marching band. 200 students actually participate in the marching band for Discovery Middle School. You know, last year, thanks to Mr. Holland's Opus, which was a movie filmed at my high school, Grant High School in Portland, but it's a musical foundation that helps tons of schools. And last year, Discovery and a few other middle schools were the beneficiaries of new instruments thanks to the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation, which is trying to keep music alive in public schools.
It's fantastic. You know, many of the musicians here are former Hough students, actually.
Oh, and this band goes back for a block and a half. What an impressive scene.
About 200 students, so that's all under the guidance of band teacher Dave Condit.
Good job, Mr. Condit.
Let's listen in. Oh yeah, you can see them. This one stretches for a while.
Yes, it
An
does.
impressive gathering.
No kidding. Nice job, guys.
Got some great costumes in there, some great
I
St. Patrick's Day costumes.
So much green out there. Wow, that is impressive.
And coming up behind them is a little Acorn Preschool and kindergarten.
Yep, parents are out there with the kids. This is sponsored by the First United Methodist Church. They work with community partners to keep costs low.
Another Hough neighborhood staple.
Absolutely. You're actually seeing most of the school's parents and even some grandparents out there. This is fun. You know, this is probably the first parade for a lot of these kids.
Absolutely.
My first parade, 5th grade.
5th grade.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember my first parade, but oh my goodness, this is a big crowd.
Yes, it keeps going.
Good job.
I see lots of green out there, some very stylish inflated hats.
You know, thanks to Little Acorn Preschool, a lot of these children of any background actually get a jump start on their education, so this is really helping out the community.
Right, you get a running start going into kindergarten. It really, it really increases your ability to learn when you have a preschool that gets you started like this. What a group.
Again, sponsored by the United Methodist Church, so a big thanks to them.
This just shows you what the Hough neighborhood's all about. Families, togetherness. Community. So we have some American muscle rolling down the street right now.
Mustangs Unlimited coming up in the black. There we are, Mustangs Unlimited. It's a fun one. Local car club for owners and of what else? Ford Mustangs. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
We got a couple different ones.
And you know, there are, going on 50 years of Mustangs here in America, and it's always been a front runner in the power department.
That's right. This club, actually, Mustangs Unlimited, has been around since 1978 with the goal of encouraging the enjoyment and ownership of Mustangs.
And it's, obviously, but that's not the only thing they do. They're big in fundraising. They donate money to local charities every year. It's really, everyone can get together, appreciate each other's cars, and help out their community. You know,
and all these people volunteer their time for the community, so that's wonderful. It's another just.
It's a benefit that a community that's tight-knit like this can really
Another
use,
example,
you know?
yeah, another example of how these people just love to be involved in their communities. That's fantastic.
You know, I've always been a fan of like the fastback Mustangs from the late 60s, early 70s, sort of the bullet style, and I see something, I
Coming
see
down
a
the bend,
bright
yeah.
red soft top. Oh, that looks fantastic. Yeah, look at that right there. I'll bet you that thing goes a lot faster than it can go right now.
I think you might be right.
But look,
It's got some muscle. You can
yeah.
definitely hear it when you
you can, yeah, there's a rumble coming down the street right now. You know what? I'll bet you this is Mrs. Weston's 4-5 class. Oh, well, they were Janine Stewart. I'm sorry. That was Vancouver City Council, Janine Stewart. But here, this is Mrs. Weston's Natural Resources of Washington.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You know, I see fish, forests, wheat and barley, wind power, fruits and vegetables.
All of which they're studying right now, so that's
Yep.
fantastic.
Oh, okay. Now, this is the Champion Easter Drama. That's a beautiful old Chevy truck, huh?
Yes.
Now, is that
51 Chevy, I think. That's the Evergreen Old Car Club and Pastor Graham's 51 Chevy truck.
Pastor Graham? He's from the New Hope Foursquare Church across the street from Houck Elementary. They donate supplies. The church and their parishioners donate supplies to Houck Elementary. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thanks, Pastor Graham.
Now I see
Burgerville.
Burgerville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got a Corvette coming up here.
You know, Burgerville is one of Vancouver's business jewels. Burgerville started in downtown Vancouver when George Propstra opened his first restaurant in 1961. So it's been 50 years of Burgerville in our community.
What is Clark County EMS District 2? Oh, here we go.
Yeah. What do you see there?
Mini Mozarts, I'm wondering.
They're diving deep into learning. So I'm diving deep into my notes here to see if I can figure out who this is.
Well, I'm hoping it's the Mini Mozarts, another proud member of the Houck community. Preschool right on Main Street.
Oh,
Yes, it is. Mini Mozarts, absolutely.
excellent.
The school's focus is teaching
Uh-oh.
youngsters arts.
Hey, robble.
Uh-oh, there he is.
Hide your hamburgers, everybody. So the Hamburglar has joined in this parade. He's kind of known for being a sneaky guy. He's an icon with McDonald's. He's been around for 40 years. Rubble. Now, I see a three-wheeled bicycle being pedaled by two people. Do you call that a tandem when it's side to side? I don't know, but I see.
No, I don't think so. It's like a double trike or something.
You know, that's got wings. It's a
Dragonfly.
it is a dragonfly. This is SCC. This is Mrs. Cantwell and Mrs. Foster's class. This is one that we have been really looking forward to.
Oh, that's right. Exploring new horizons with technology. We
Yes.
talked about this a little earlier. Actually.
Yeah, they have a $25,000 grant that they just received to bring technology into the classroom. Notice all these kids have sort of iPads with them, sort of. But these are the parade judges. That's why you're seeing a lot of these classes stop and sort of present to them what their theme is this year.
And just coming down the bend here, we've got the FritoLay with Chester Cheetah. Chester's kind of leading the way, but right now oh, there he is. There's Chester Cheetah. This entry is from FritoLay, which employs a number of residents at its plant in Fruit Valley Road, off of Fruit Valley Road.
Yep, that's right, down by Lake Vancouver. It's I'll tell you go by there, and anytime you could be smelling Cheetos, you could be smelling Fritos and Doritos.
Yeah, and actually our producer is friends with a guy who used to be a manager there.
No kidding.
Yes. He says part of his job every day was to taste test chips for quality control.
Oh, what a job. I mean, can you even call it a job if it's something that awesome? We're seeing a lot of smiling faces out there. Let's head back out to the sidewalk.
That's where Nick Bull is standing by. Nick?
Okay, guys, here I'm out in the crowd again, and I've met up with Trisha and Bennett down here, and they're enjoying the parade. It's just about over. What have you thought so far?
Oh, it's been great. We come every year, and we just have a great time.
What's your favorite one so far?
Oh, I think we like the big fire engine that comes by the most, or at least he does, so, yeah.
What connection do you have to Hough?
We used to live downtown here, so we used to live just a couple blocks away from Hough Elementary. And
So no kids in the school, you just keep coming back.
we just keep coming back, yeah. Love downtown.
That's really exciting. I appreciate you talking to me. All right. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Nick, and we also want to thank everybody who came out to support the parade today.
Despite the rain.
And here we got Open House Ministries.
Okay, this is a shelter that provides need to families in Vancouver.
Oh, and
So
there we go. We got number 53, Herbie the car.
Yeah, no, I was hearing that there was a chance that Clifford the big red dog would be in there, but I think it was a little too wet. You know what wet dogs smell like.
That's
We
right.
just, and if you're a big red dog and you're wet, I can't imagine that.
I don't think Clifford's in there, but this VW bug belongs to the former Hough parent Gil Boardman. He's made several appearances in the parade, so that makes sense. There he goes.
I
All
see a
right, there's-
Corvette.
Yep, Ding's Complete Care Auto
Okay.
Center, 1989 Corvette. I know my Corvettes better than my Mustangs, apparently.
Yeah, well, you know, if we're talking American muscle, that's just, it's the other side of the spectrum. We had our Fords, here's our Chevy.
Okay, and here we go. Is this the Vancouver Police Department's commercial truck? Is that it?
I think it is.
They requested this truck finish the parade, so there you
They
have
started the parade and they finished it.
it. So I think that was a pretty good parade. I'm thoroughly impressed, actually, with how it went down.
Yeah, so many of those entrants. I mean, very memorable parade. I loved the Discovery Middle School band. A lot of those former Hough Elementary students playing. I mean, there was like 200 members of that band.
That
It was
was
really
impressive. That was
impressive.
impressive. And the Escola de Samba, that
Yeah.
was actually one of my favorites. The drums, I mean, that was great, fantastic.
Just the flavor of Rio.
I think it turned out really well. And of course, we couldn't bring you this kind of parade coverage without a lot of help. We want to say some thank yous now. Thank you to Barbara Hammond, who organized the parade, and also she gave us a lot of information and helped us produce this show today.
And we also want to say thanks to our crew, almost entirely a volunteer crew. We had 4 students from Vancouver School of Arts and Academics here, and several current and former television professionals
if you want to call them
giving
that.
us
Yeah,
their
absolutely.
valuable time.
And finally, we'd like to thank Abdul Akhti and Jenna Eckert, who actually own Mint Tea, which is where we're standing right now and where we were based all day today.
Nick Vole is standing by with one of the owners. Nick.
Thanks, guys. You know, an event like the Hough Parade doesn't come together unless a whole bunch of community members pitch in and kind of make it happen. And that's why we're here at Mint Tea, who's generously donated their space and their time to help us put on this broadcast. And they also help out the Hough Foundation, help kids every day. And joining me now is Jenna Eckert, who's one of the co-owners of Mint Tea. Jenna, thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Tell me, why is it important for you and your husband to, get involved with the school?
Our business is here. We live here. Our son goes to Hough, but it's also our public local elementary school.
And how long have you been in this community?
We have lived here 10 years. We have been at this location for almost 3 years. We do food and our retail side, which we had for the first 8 years of our business. So,
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And thanks for hosting us here. We really appreciate it. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Nick.
And I love the green tie. I hear your wife bought it for you.
If you like to see news from your community, check out our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/VanSDTV. Of course, all of our broadcasts can be seen on Comcast channels 28 and 29.
And you can also like us on Facebook and follow our tweets. To hook up with Vancouver Public Schools on social media, just go to the district website at vansd.org and look for the Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube logos.
Lots of great information on those sites. Great way to stay connected to your community.
Thanks again for joining us for the 2011 Paddy Hough Parade. I'm Elena Buller.
And I'm Orion Ludlow. We'll see you next year for the 21st.